Hello, interwebs. It's Sunday, October 22nd, 2017. Big 12 recap, because I can. Starting off, Oklahoma State at Texas. Very surprising, the number one offense in the nation held to 13 points in overtime. They won 13-10. Very ugly win for them. Texas should have won, but Tom Herman's must tell them that only one side of the ball is allowed to be good for a week. For example, week 1, the defense did horrible. The offense did fine. Week 2 was a complete game because it was against San Jose State. Week 3, USC, the defense. The offense didn't really do much until overtime. Let's see. Week 4, defense, because they only allowed 7 against Iowa State, and they only scored 17. Week 5, K-State, the offense. Week 6, Oklahoma, the offense. It started late, but it was the offense. And then this week, it was the defense. I mean, Texas just cannot get rolling on offense. They had one possession where John Bird got a 90-yard reception, ran down the sideline, and then Ellinger finished it off with a rushing touchdown. But they did a good job at not letting the Oklahoma State get big plays. Oklahoma State did pretty good defensively, too. And then overtime, Oklahoma State got a field goal, and then Texas was at the 4, and Ellinger threw a stupid pass and did nothingness, and it was intercepted. I mean, he literally just lobbed it up because he thought someone would run back to the ball, but it was literally like the slowest ever descent, and the defender had about 10 minutes to go under it, catch it, intercept it, and clinch the game for them. So that was frustrating. Oklahoma State barely escapes with the win. They still only have one conference loss. Texas now moves to 2-2 in conference. Iowa State. They are now number 25 in the nation, the AP poll. They beat Texas Tech on the road 31-13. After the first half, Texas Tech had 18 yards passing. So for the team that likes to use the air raid so much, they only had 18 yards passing at the end of the first half. They were just getting absolutely dominated. I mean, their first possession, they missed an extra point. They scored on their first possession, then they missed the extra point. And then it just went down their hill from there. They were down 24-6 at half. They really struggled defensively as well. And then, I mean, it was just a bad game for Texas Tech. Horrible offense for Texas Tech. Probably their worst game they've had all season. Shimanek only had 207 yards. He didn't even have a touchdown pass and an interception. For the first time since 2013, Oklahoma State didn't throw a passing touchdown. Just wanted to say that. I know it's way behind. Just go with it. So Tech didn't have a passing touchdown either. Both their touchdowns were rushing touchdowns. One by Shimanek and one by the running back Nisby. Nisby? I don't know. But really a struggle offensively for Texas Tech. And Iowa State just did a really good job at holding them. And then obviously the offense, they had a really complete game. Kansas State scared the crap out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma loses this, their playoff chances are over. K-State, they didn't have Jesse Ertz, and last week I said they might be able to scare TCU. They got dominated by TCU. This week I was like, they played horrible last week. That Oklahoma will probably beat them by a few possessions. Well, Oklahoma did not beat them by a few possessions. K-State stayed in the game. K-State was up 21-7 early, and K-State choked. So, yeah. They were up 21-7 in the middle of the second quarter. Oklahoma was able to make a field goal before the end of the half. They were down 21-10 at half. By the end of the third, they were down 21-20. And then they got a 22-yard run by Rodney Anderson with 7 seconds left on the clock. So Oklahoma had that. Blaker Mayfield threw a second interception of the season. Yeah. So that moves Oklahoma to 6-1. Kansas State to 3-4. Big 12 is going to be crazy. Kansas set a bunch of records. Man, they did great this week. I mean, they just were setting so many records. They played on the road against number 4 TCU. They lost 43-0, but they're setting records. Let's see. One of them was the FBS low for yards in a game, 21 yards in the whole game. It's yeah. They also tied the NCAA record with 44 straight road losses. Kansas, they just started setting a bunch of records. They were outgained in the first half in yardage, 305-3. So they did horrible offensively and obviously horrible defensively because they got shut out 43-0. So TCU rolled them. West Virginia Baylor. This game was interesting. West Virginia went up early. They looked like they were about to just absolutely dominate Baylor. They were up 38-13. And then Baylor got a spark of life out of nowhere from their third string quarterback. What's his name? Charlie Brewer. And he brought them within 38-30. They had the ball. They scored a touchdown. They failed the 2-point conversion. They almost got the onside kick again, but they didn't, so they lost. West Virginia. If I'm a West Virginia fan, I'm very concerned because, you were up 38-13. You almost lost to a team that's now 0-7. But I have to say, Baylor's the best 0-7 team I've ever seen. Why are they the best 0-7 team I've ever seen? None of their losses are blowout losses. 48-45, 17-10, 34-20, 48-41, 33-20. Oh, just kidding. There's the Oklahoma State game. 59-16. 38-36. So other than the Oklahoma State game, they're the best 0-7 team I've ever seen. Well, that has to include it. But my point is, they're not doing too bad for an 0-7 team. They have Texas at home next week. If Texas loses that, I'm going to cry. But if Ellinger doesn't make dumb decisions and throw it into nothingness, and the defense plays like they did, and the offense can actually score, should be a win, but you never know with Texas. That's pretty much it. Kansas, congratulations for all the records you set. TCU, you're still undefeated. Oklahoma, congratulations, you almost lost. Conference standings right now, TCU's 4-0 in conference. They're at top. There is a 4-way tie for second in conference between Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Iowa State, and West Virginia. They're all 3-1 conference. Texas is the only two-loss team in the conference with 2 losses, 2-2. Texas Tech, Kansas State, and Texas Tech and Kansas State are 1-3 in conference, and then Kansas and Baylor are tied for last in conference at 0-4. So next week, got a big prediction for one of the games that everyone's going to be shocked at. Cowboys just absolutely dominated the 49ers today. Truex won another race. So that's an elimination race. I'm going to make a video on that sometime. Maybe today. And then, starting next weekend, every weekend I'm going to do a week recap of the NBA. I'm going to choose some of the big storylines. Something, for example, the Suns just fired their coach after 3 games. And then Gordon Hayward's foot was backwards. So those are just 2 headlines. I'll do that, but I'll go into more depth. It's like once a week, so Saturday or Sunday or something, just to make you happy. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Iowa State's in the rankings. Kansas set a bunch of records. Once again, I said that.